And I feel like Bleeding Love has to test you.
Yeah.
When I say Hollywood Records screwed you over in numerous ways, do you agree with that statement?
I'll be diplomatic in that it was. I don't feel like I was screwed over. I think it's probably the sting is a lot less because it was such a hit record that it's an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah, you still got paid.
I still got paid, and I still got the recognition as a songwriter, and it was still a very important moment in my career. I will say that when you're young, I was 20, 21 at the time when the song was written, you don't have like you can't, it's harder to stick up for yourself and have the voice, especially when you're signed to a major record company, which I am no longer. Like you just have less of the control and less of a voice because they look at you as a kid and like, what do you know? You know? That song worked out for the best, but there is a fun story about that song when it was written. I think I've told it before on your show, but just to recap, like the A&R guy hated the song, thought it was not appropriate or right for the record. At the time, it was a more rhythmic album. It was the Departure album, which had Leave In and How Do You Sleep and It's Over. So maybe he was right, but it was also this really beautiful ballad that I thought shouldn't be just sort of scoffed at. And about a year later, when it was the biggest song in the world, I was at the table for the ASCAP Awards, and it was nominated for Song of the Year. And when it won, he was sitting just to my right, and I just kind of looked at him. And I remember he emailed me like, "This isn't. I don't know what this Bloody Heart song is, but it's not right." It was pretty condescending, and I just remember thinking, "Well, okay, if that's fine." And then a year later, it gets nominated, wins, and he was at the table, and I just kind of winked at him, and he was like, "You're right. You were right on this one." And it was a validating moment. And at that point, I think I started getting taken more seriously from all of the executives, you know, but
I mean, a little late, rather late than never. But at that same moment, do you think to yourself, because there's this school of thought as a songwriter, you write a song and you give it to somebody who's bigger than me, and they can turn that song into something that I could never even have ever imagined or done.
Yeah.
But in this situation, it's unique because Leona Lewis is essentially unknown.
Yeah.
Right? She has one reality competition show under her belt.
Yeah.
And this song, by the way, one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
And maybe that's mean to say, but it's the truth, right? Like, that song not only made her career, it was her career.
It was the only option I had at the time. It was either that or it just sits in my hard drive and goes unheard for years. So I got to give it to Ryan, to Tedder on that. He was very, you know, he stuck it out and he pitched it to Simon. And without him pitching that and without Simon hearing it, it never would have become the song it is today.
But do you think you could have made it a hit?
I don't know. It's like, it's so hard to say. I mean, at the time I was coming off of such a big, you know, Leavin' was #1 on the charts at the time.
Huge.
So yeah, I think.
And then How Do You Sleep followed it up really well, but a ballad, there's always room for it.
I mean, we'll never know. But if I had to like go back and redo it, I would bank on what I know now, which is like, you know, a fat publishing check and being okay with it being someone else's record.
You wouldn't change anything.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
You did release your own version of it, though, didn't you?
I did like my demo version. I think eventually got leaked. I don't know, or maybe
that's what I heard.
I think maybe it was leaked. To be honest, I don't remember. I'm not sure if we actually did a formal release, but it did come out. But at that point, it didn't really matter because it was that song is so closely tied to Leona's identity. It didn't really matter, and she sang the hell out. I could never sing it the way she sang it. It would be a totally different version. So, you know, we'll never know. But the good news is that Carol G just she just sampled it, and now it's like, you know, so it's hard to complain with the way that actually turned out. You know?
Because I mean, it keeps you fed.
It's now in the Latin market in another language, so we're good.
It's giving you all the leeway and ability to go and film with all the TikTokers in the world.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it does allow for some. Yeah, that's like a consistent check that you can always count on.
It's great, man.